said that Elon Musk himself, listened to the Spaces Back, said, yes, the richest man in the world agreed with me when I said they're trying to make us all slaves.
Arguably one of the smartest men in the world as well.
Arguably the smartest, confirmably the richest, certainly one of the most powerful people on the planet agreed with me when I said they're trying to make us all slaves. And when I say it to you guys at home on the emergency meetings, you're like, yeah, I guess. Like I'm saying it as hyperbole. The most powerful people in the world, including my Tristan and I, because we are some of the most famous people on the planet and therefore have the largest influence, by extension, a lot of power, hence our Matrix attack. I think we're the top 5 most influential people on the planet as it currently stands, understands they're going to make us all slaves. So we know what's happening. Elon agreed with me publicly, and I thought it was very interesting that nobody actually picked up on that when they should have.
I did.
If you have money, you have stored time and energy of other humans.
Because hourly rates.
That's right, because I can take that money and make someone else use their time and energy for X thing.
Got it. It's a different version of slavery.
Absolutely, because if I'm going to come along and say, you're no longer my slave. As my slave, you had to work for a house and a car. You're no longer my slave. In slavery, let's actually look at slavery.
Slavery began that way.
Slavery said, you work on my plantation, I give you somewhere to eat.
Or I'll give you my daughter. This is how people would work. And that's why they were like, oh, your Bible believes in slavery. Like, it was different. It wasn't like, there was bondages. There was slavery. That's why the Egyptians, that's a whole different type of slave. But the origination of slave was like a debt. I'm paying you a debt.
Yep, completely. So let's look at even American slavery, the slavery that most Americans understand. You're going to work for me, I'm going to give you a house, and I'm going to give you food, and you're going to stay here and you're going to work. Slavery is abolished. Now what do we do? You're going to work for me, I'm going to give you that, I'm going to give you some money, and that money is enough to only buy you a house and some food. We've just put money in the middle. Now, if I can make you do whatever I want for money, and I can print as much money as I want, you're my slave. Because I can print it from the sky, and you need it to live. So you are my slave. Money's not real. I have all of this money. I have the stored time and energy of other humans. And once you get past a certain level of wealth, you understand, which ties back to COVID, that you're not interested in money. You're interested in these people. It's always been about having good people around you. You want a beautiful, doting, loving woman who's obsessed with you. You want good brothers who will stand by you and make you motivated. You want bodyguards who are going to protect you. You want people. And then you want to look at it further down the rabbit hole. You want to get more sinister. If you've been born into a lineage or a dynasty of the people who control the world, you want people, you want robots. You don't want to be spoken to disrespectfully. In your empire, in your podcast, right now, would you allow a member of staff to come along and say, this is bullshit, I don't like doing this is shit, you're shit, or would you fire them?
I don't know if I would fire them. I would first try to teach them how to behave.
And if they didn't listen, oh, absolutely. So imagine you ran a country. Or let's imagine you ran the world. And then let's imagine there's this guy called Top G who sits down there because he was Google Man of the world for telling the world that COVID's a lie. And you're making everybody run around and do everything you say. You're going to allow that person to get away with it? And now you start to understand, that's how the Matrix operates. The people who are broken, raised on money, are so obsessed with power and control, which explains a lot of the society we're in, because they don't look up to God. These people think they are God. So
That's the biggest fault.
And they're trying to make robots of us all. They're trying to enslave us.
I you know what bothers me more than anything is when I walk into an establishment and the person who's working is like, go to there, and they point at a machine. What breaks my heart is that machine is going to replace you.
Yep.
You have no idea.
Yep.
So you've gotten in a place where the person above you is encouraging you to be replaced. That's like, hey, see yourself out, legitimately.
Yep.
See yourself out.
But people don't think. They don't, and they absolutely lack perspicacity. And then you go further down the rabbit hole, because like I said, there's layers to the rabbit hole. I don't know how Alex Jones you want me to go, but he's right about
all the way.
He's right about a lot of things.
So you're an Alex Jones fan.
I like a lot of the things he says. And I'm not saying I agree with everything he says, but a lot of the things he says have been proven to be absolutely true. You know, a conspiracy theorist, nowadays that just means you're ahead of the curve, unfortunately. And Alex was talking about, and a lot of other people talking about, and there's a lot of text which talks about the fact that the people who are in charge of the world, they believe that as AI improves, a huge percentage of the planet are going to become useless eaters. They don't need you anymore.
That actually scares me. The guy who created it even is scared of it.
Well, that's the thing. So let's give a thought experiment. As it stands right now, most people are so uninteresting and so unremarkable that you could replace them online with a chat GPT bot and you wouldn't really notice. Genuinely, that's how boring most humans are. If you're special and remarkable and unique and you're famous or you do whatever, that's different. But most people you could replace with ChatGPT by text, you wouldn't even notice. And that is a free application which is brand new. Imagine we're going to be in 20 years from now. We start talking about useless eaters. This has been discussed by very important, very powerful people at length. The same people who are trying to give you the vaccine are talking about the fact that the population of the earth needs to decline. Why do we need, they say it, Bill Gates says it. Why do we need to get rid of people? Well, machines will do it. So why do we need people sitting around who have hopes, dreams, aspirations? They want health care, they want safety, security, children, all of this garbage. We just need somebody to do X job, and a machine can do X job, so what do we need these people for? So then you start looking.
I find it weird that Hollywood was the first one to strike about it, but it was about actors.
Well, yeah, because have you ever asked ChatGPT to write a movie?
Like that?
Bro, it's better than anything you've seen in Hollywood in a long time. There's no woke bullshit. There's no trans, lesbian, black, double-dicked fucking hero. So it's great.
You know what's so funny is that like this episode is definitely gonna like fuck my account up, but I'm in for it. I'd rather be like real and like if I God forbid if I passed away, I just want to make sure that I was authentic.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Absolutely.
So they're gonna wipe people out with robots. How do you get in the way of that? So you want to be the Superman of this generation?
It's not about me. It's not about me trying to be the Superman because I'm not that arrogant. It's just about me understanding what I know is going to happen and feeling like if God has given me a platform which people listen to me, I should at least tell the truth of what's going to happen. Okay. When I'm sitting there and saying to men, look, life as a man is shit. It's always been shit. It's never been good. When men wake up and say I'm depressed and life is hard and I'm sad and I'm struggling right now, I say, okay, throughout history, men have always struggled. Happiness is for children and women. Name a time in history it was better to be a man. Was it better to be a man in World War II? Was it better to be a man on the Titanic? Was it better to be a man in the Napoleonic Wars? Was it better to be a man when you were sitting in Vienna and the Mongol horde arrived, ready to decapitate any male and enslave all the females? When's it ever been good to be a man? Building the pyramids, was that fun? It's always sucked. The only time being a man ever is good is if you become an exceptional man, which is even something feminists admit. Because feminists sit and complain about men and say, well, men have this, men have that. But they're talking about 2% of men.
Fascinating.
They don't talk about all men. They say men have the best jobs. 2% of men have the best jobs. Most men carry trash. So you're talking crap. So everyone accepts that the best possible human experience that exists is the top 2% of men. Anything below that sucks as a man. You're better off being a chick.
So what I say to men is, look, life's hard, it's always going to be hard, it's always going to suck, always.